Your impressions of the Panorama thus far?
Sounds good.
Overwhelming.
Well, I know you have a relationship with Robbie Greenidge. I mean, how did he take a simple tune like a home and get 10 minutes out of it?
Well, I think he's really needs to be given some credit on this one because when they picked that song, I wasn't in love with that particular song in terms of for the pan.
Right.
So it's a nice song.
And let's also give Juice Man some credit to it.
Well, he must have really juiced up Juice Man to get this here because I thought up until All Stars played, I thought Solo played the best so far. And I'm a desperado at heart.
I know that too, but you have your divided attentions.
Yeah, but I'm also a musician.
Right.
I have to call it like it is. So far, I thought Robbie Greenidge was the best. So far, it's between Robbie and All Stars. Books is yet to come, Exodus is yet to come, Renegades is yet to come. So I'm not feeling good at all, but it sounds good to me so far.
Okay, let's digress a little bit from the pan and talk a little bit about yourself and what's happening with you in the music world.
Well, I'm in the process of completing a brand new album. I just took a couple of weeks off to come down here for Carnival. My wife and I, she's from here. And the guy that Robbie and I works for up in the States, Jimmy Buffett, he decided to come down. He flew his private jet down here. And I decided to come with him and show him, since this is first Carnival, the experience of Trinidad and Tobago. And he's over there having a ball. Hopefully I can get him over here to talk to you guys before tonight's over.
Well, let's talk a little bit now about the last band's performance. What impressed you?
Well, I got to hear All Stars in a pan yard, and I was very impressed. So far, the two bands impressed me in the yards were Phase 2 and All Stars. But, when you get to the final night, something seems to go down, or I don't know what happens. But in my opinion, so far, Solo and All Stars sounded the best to me at this point. So, again, I can't pick nothing yet until the final results, but I feel real good that the last two performances was just super.
Well, I must say too, like you, that the Panorama sort of woke up when Robbie and they put down their performance, and since then the adrenaline has started to flow. You can feel it from the audience that they're into the Panorama now.
Yeah. Well, he sort of set the pace. I'm a desperado at heart.
You know that.
Yeah, there's no question about that. But they didn't sound that good to me tonight. Whatever, sometimes things happen or whatever happens. People get
we
to
thought
the
it might have been
night.
a little clip too fast tonight.
Yeah, well, I don't know exactly what it was, but it was something, Alvin, that just didn't feel, it wasn't in the pocket.
Yeah.
I don't think that this whole Panorama was in the pocket until Solo came along and set the pace, and All Stars certainly kept it going.
I don't know if you heard the arrangement that Desperados had before they performed what they did tonight, but somehow, although it sounded a lot more laid back, I think the first arrangement was more in keeping with what we expected of Desperados.
Well, I came late this year, so I didn't hear the prelims, I didn't hear semifinals, so I don't know what that
Can't
arrangement.
compare.
Yeah, to compare it like you
It's
are.
recorded, and maybe you should listen to it and tell me what you think sometime.
Yeah, I actually will, but I don't know whatever they did. I don't know. As I said, I don't know where they started from or where they ended up with because I came late.
But I think too sometimes, if you're not coming first, you decide, I gotta throw that away and try something else.
Well, that's the beauty of Panorama. You have to continue to tweak your song right through to the end.
Tell us a little bit again about your relationship with Robbie Greenidge and what is Robbie doing as well.
Oh, Robbie is fine. We work a lot outside together. Of course, we work Jimmy Buffett. We do Earth, Wind, and Fire. We do Quincy Jones. We do a lot of stuff outside, which is really great. Hopefully, in the future, I'll try to get Booksy involved in things like that too. Because I think he's fabulous as a musician and as a pan man.
What does the pan need to take it even further ahead?
Well, I don't know. It depends on I don't think it's in the band's hands. I think it's in the people of Trinidad and Tobago hands. If you support your culture and you buy your music, people say what they want to say, but I always go back to Jamaica. Anywhere around the world, everybody knows who Bob Marley is. Everybody knows what reggae is. Well, everybody should know what calypso is. Everybody should know what soca is. Everybody should know what tassa and gospel. Just the culture of the country, man. This is what I thrive on, and I don't know why they can't seem to export it nowhere else, but I think you have to buy it at home first. before you can expect some foreigner to buy it.
There's going to be a special bomb competition, and we're going to be looking at the music of Highlanders. What do you remember about that?
Shoot, I grew up on Highlanders. You kidding me? I remember May the Good Lord bless and keep you. I remember May the Good Lord bless and keep you. I remember Cheek to Cheek. I grew up on that. I think that's the most fabulous idea that they could have came up with Japan, because that was a great band, and I'm really happy that they're singling those kind of bands out to perform something from them, because Highlanders was in a class by themselves. Believe me, when I started playing, I wanted to be like a Highlander, whatever that meant.
And let's face it, some of the tunes that were selected as bomb tunes in those days, I almost have to say, like, the Pan Men today are lazy.
Yeah, but when you hear those arrangements, you say to yourself, wow, what year was that? Yeah. You know, and you hear what's going on. You know, I've even met Professor, I can't remember his entire real name, but I know you know it. We call him Professor.
Professor Fillmore.
What's his name again?
Ken Fillmore.
Ken Fillmore. No, not that Professor. The one from Highlanders.
Oh.
You mean Les Slater?
Les Slater.
Les Slater.
Yeah, there you go. You know, Les used to have a Pan magazine in Brooklyn. I did a few articles with him. But when I found out he was the leader and the arranger of Highlanders, I was very impressed, because that was some of the best years in Pan for me. It was growing up, and it really introduced me to it, and I went on from there.
What do you know about the amplification of pans that were happening in those days, and where it could have reached if Bertie really had his way?
Well, you know, the old days is the old days, man. If we can go back to them, I would love it. But, you know, hopefully we're talking about moving on to the future. You know, I respect Bertie Marshall. I respect people. I remember hearing about I knew Rudolph Charles, but I remember hearing about the Wallaces and the Lincolns and the Pan tuners. It was very important to the Pan. But, you know, these young kids today, I look for the future, you know. I love to see the younger kids involved in playing, because we need new Clyde Bradleys. We need new Robert Greenwiches. We need new Booksy Sharps. You know, we just need people like that to continue the tradition and continue the quality of music that we've been getting all along.
Well, if you were here for the Panorama Day we had last year, I can tell you there's a lot of future in some of the young kids. There's a young girl, Carrie Codrington's daughter, that beat the pants off some of the bigger guys. So there's a lot to look for from the youths when it concerns Pan.
Well, I'm really happy about that, because, you know, my mom and dad was born in Trinidad. I was born in America. So my culture comes from my mom and dad, and they taught me about Trinidad and Tobago. I came back married to Trinidad here. So I'm really happy, and this is a great experience for me. And I'm just thrilled.
Thank you very much, Ralph, for gracing us with your presence and sharing some thoughts with us. Hope you enjoyed the carnival to the fullest.
Thank you, Alvin. I certainly will.
Thank you again. That was Ralph MacDonald, one of our proud sons of the soil, making music out there in North America, always coming back to take in the Pan and to share with us his impressions of the music, and it's good to have him around. Well, Orville is back, and I know Orville has a lot to say about the last band